Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jai Hind, and welcome to Khan Global Studies. I hope I am properly audible and visible to all of you. Good evening, Shubham. So I hope I am properly audible and visible to all of you. Good evening, Khushi. Good evening, Shubham. Okay, so good evening, everyone, and welcome to the session. In the last session, we have discussed about some very important concepts, like we have talked about the Indian monsoon ecosystem. We have talked about this monsoon part, that how it is changing in the case of Himalayan states. Then we have also discussed about some other related topics, like we have uh, we have seen also the part of Waqf amendment recently, previous days. Then we have talked about some other related topics. Now, in today's session, only Lakshmikant is sufficient for theme-wise notes. No, Umesh, for theme-wise notes, you will need to have Lakshmikant plus your class notes plus some help of Google. Hence, you have to search it on internet, and on that basis, you can prepare. So let's start our session. The topics which we are going to discuss today. Let me tell you about the topics first. The topics which we are going to discuss today, one is about the Supreme Court, government and stubble burning issue. There is an issue of a stubble burning in parts of Punjab, Haryana or Delhi NCR, and there is certain observation by Supreme Court with respect to that. So that is one topic which we are going to discuss about. Second topic is about extra borrowing limit of the states. So this is one thing, like extra borrowing limit. This is a very important part, a very important topic of your polity section. The third topic which we are going to discuss is about European Union and India relationship upgrade. So we are coming with them. We are coming with this upgraded version of European Union and India. Then we are also going to talk about NDC of climate change, NDC of Paris Treaty. So we are going to talk about this, that what it is all about. So these are the topics which we are going to discuss. Okay. What is your question? We will have to conduct a separate class on current affairs regarding what? Like regarding what topic? I could not understand what you are trying to say. So this is the topics which we are going to discuss in today's session. Now, let's start our discussion about this topics. Before that, there is this one information about all of you. Like today we have 18th of September, and tomorrow it will be the last day before the open mock test, which is going to be conducted on 28th of September also. Okay. So this is one thing, like and at the same time we are having this optional batches and everything in case of geography, history, socio, public administration, maths, etc. Yeah. So these are the informations related to batch. Many of you were asking about batch. So these batches are going on as of now. Okay. And like foundation batch is also going on in Karol Bagh as well as Mukherjee Nagar. So this is one information. Neetu, see, we are having a separate class in Hindi from 6 p.m. So just on KGS IAS Hindi channel at 6 p.m. we will have the same class, but in Hindi medium. So there you can join also. So we are having the English class here, and we will also have the Hindi class later. So right now we are having the English class here on this channel. Okay. Now here, I have given you one question also to write. I have given you this one question to write for mains. So how many of you have written it? I have given you this one mains question also. So how many of you have written this answer? Tell me about this. How many of you have written this answer? and what you have written. Like, this is one question which we have to practice today. This question is very important because like in this question we are having we are having this one topic, one of the keyword, that is analyze. So regarding that, we are going to see the answer of this one question. We are going to see the answer of this one question. So tell me, who have written the answer for this question? How many of you have written the answer for this one question? PSI or optional English medium batch? See, it has not been announced as of now. If there is any announcement, I will let you know. If there is any announcement about this, I will definitely let you know that when it will start. So right now it has not been announced. So how many of you have written the answer for this question? Describe. Okay. The Prince has written this. Anyone else? See, why are you people not writing the answer? I have explained this question to you last day, and I have told you that if you write this answer, we will discuss about a pattern of this answer, about the keyword here. Okay. So let's look at this. We are having this one keyword, analyze the factors influencing the Indian monsoon. Okay. It is saying analyze the factors responsible for Indian monsoon. Now, what is the meaning of this keyword here? What is the meaning here? Whenever you are having a keyword like analyze, it means you have to link various portion, link various parts of answer, link various part of answer. So this is one such question in which you could have used a significant number of flow charts in order to describe the entire process. You could analyze the entire factors which are responsible for Indian monsoon. So can you tell me, what are the factors which are influencing the Indian monsoon? Can anyone tell me what are the factors which are influencing this Indian monsoon? Tibetan Plateau, okay, jet streams, Madden-Julian oscillation, El Nino. See, what you can do, like when you are writing this answer, like after writing this introduction, that Indian monsoon is caused by reversal of winds, seasonal reversal of winds, and all. So you can give a general characteristics. You can give a general characteristics of the monsoon, and then you could have divided it into multiple factors. You can have divided it into multiple factors. Like how we can represent it, the factors responsible. You can have made 4 different portions. Okay. You could have 4 different portions. One of the portion could have been simply about heating or differential heating. One part would have been about the differential heating. Yeah. Here you can mention that Tibetan Plateau get extremely heated. On contrast, the Indian Ocean remains cooler. Okay. So there is development of high pressure over the portions of Indian Ocean. There is the formation of low pressure over the Tibetan Plateau region. So you can mention about the differential heating between land and sea. So this could have been one portion. You could have mentioned in this part the excess heating of Tibetan Plateau. The Indian Ocean remains cooler because of a specific heat of water. Second part could have been about this Earth's rotation and apparent movement of the sun. Okay. So here you could have mentioned apparent movement of sun. Then you can connect it with shift of ITCZ, shift of ITCZ. Then you could have connected it with the Coriolis force and seasonal reversal of wind. Okay. Coriolis force, deflection and reversal in wind direction. Reversal in wind direction. So this could have been one part. The third part could have been the atmospheric pressure belts. You could have mentioned about the subtropical jet stream. You could have mentioned about eastern tropical jet stream. Okay. So this is one portion which could have mentioned. Then you could have mentioned about the oceanic factors. Oceanic factors. There you could have mentioned about the El Nino, Indian Ocean dipole. El Nino, Indian Ocean dipole. El Nino, La Nina means southern oscillation. Then the Madden-Julian oscillation. And in fact, you could have added another factor, that the present day where we have the impact of Arctic amplification also, or polar amplification also. So this was one question where you have the opportunity, to show it in a different manner, that what are the different factors, how they are interconnected with each other. And then you could have also made a type of map where you could have indicated all these things. Okay. Where you could have indicated all these things. So this was a very important questions. This was a very important question. Analyze means you have to link. So here we are linking the different factors together. You could have shown how El Nino and Indian Ocean dipole could give the result. Okay. So this is one part. When you are getting a question like this, try to write it. Okay. Try to write it next time. Okay. So I am giving you question. If you practice along, you will learn a lot of things. So ultimately it comes to that part, how much effort you are ready to give. So this is one of the part of the question, that analyze the factor influencing the Indian monsoon. Second part was this, highlight the regions. So this is the part which I have already told you last day. So there was nothing tricky in this. It is saying highlight the regions. So last day itself I have told you that what are the regions responsible behind it. So that one portion could have been done quite easily. So I am still giving you this one part, this one question again. Try to write it and try to make it in such a manner that your answer must look attractive. It must be segregated. If anyone is looking at your answer, they should be having the entire idea about the Indian monsoon. That what are the different factors, how they are interrelated with each other. So try to write this answer once again. Okay. So you can mention about surface pressure and wind also, everything you can mention. But you have to write. The ultimate thing is you have to write. So when will you write this answer? I'm asking, now I'm not giving you task. When will you write this answer by yourself? From your side, when you would be writing this answer? Tomorrow. Okay. So today or tomorrow, you have to write this answer and you have to tell me again whether you have written it or not. Okay. So today we are discussing the topics now directly. So here we are having this one question. Here we are having this one topic. Supreme Court, government and stubble burning. Supreme Court, government and stubble burning. So what Supreme Court has said about stubble burning, let us try to understand it. Okay. Let us try to understand it. Okay. See, when there is a question which is having analyze as keyword, So this is what you have to do. This is what you have to do in the case of analyze, that you have to interlink the different portions. Okay. So this is what I expect from you, that next time when you are writing this answer, and if the keyword is like analyze, so you have to link it with different part. Now coming to this one portion, Supreme Court, government and stubble burning. So let us try to understand what has been said by Supreme Court regarding this and what is the government saying. Okay. So Chief Justice of India, okay, the Chief Justice of India, he has said this one thing. He has said this one thing, that to this one part, he has asked for criminal persecution of farmers who are doing stubble burning. Those farmers who are doing stubble burning, so the Chief Justice of India is saying that there must be a criminal persecution against them. Okay. However, the center has refused it. Center has completely refused it. It has said that it is not feasible. Okay. Center has said that the union government, it has said that this is something which is not feasible. Okay. Union government has in fact said that our policy is like to take the farmers along, not to put them behind the bars. Okay. So it has said that we have a policy to take the farmers along, and not to put them behind bars, that we are behind this bar, that we are having this one policy. Union government has said it, the Supreme Court, that we are having this policy. We are not going to put the farmers in the jail just because they are doing the stubble burning. We have this one policy that if farmers are burning the stubble, we will try to discourage them from burning it. We will try to incentivize them so that they are not burning the stubble. But we are not going to do this one part where we are going to file a case against them, or where we are going to put them behind the bar. So that is a very a strict position which has been taken by the union government in this case. Okay. So there is one part, Supreme Court is saying that if a farmer is burning stubble, you have to put them behind the bar. On other hand, central government, the union government has said that no, we will not do it. It is not possible. It is not feasible. Okay. So that is one of the news article. Now, when we talk about stubble burning, okay, when we talk about this stubble burning, the question is why it is done, or what it is. It is basically burning of crop residue. Burning of crop residue. Why they burn it? Why are the farmers burning the crop residue? Why are the farmers burning the crop residue? In the case of the Kharif crop, we see that it becomes prepared by the end of October. By the end of October or by the mid of October, Kharif crop becomes ready. And in the early portions of November, we also need to have the cultivation of Rabi crops. So why are farmers burning the stubble? Due to lack of time. Plus at the same time, lower cost. Due to the time factor and due to the cost issue, the farmers are going for stubble burning, burning the crop residue in the field itself. Now, what is the problem? What is the problem because of this stubble burning? What is the problem? Problem is huge amount of particulate matter, and especially PM 2.5. PM 2.5 means their size is of 2.5 microns. These PM 2.5 particles, they can enter inside our body. They can cause multiple type of diseases. These particulate matter, they can cause multiple types of diseases. So how much pollution is getting caused? Here we are having a data. Here we are having a graph of comparison of a certain time, of a certain area. Like this is of Patiala. There is a village in Patiala. So there, normally the particulate matter is between 50 to 100. And when there is a stubble burning, in this case, this one crosses 100 to even going up to 300. 100 to 300. Okay. So normally we see that the particulate matter is between 50 to 100 microgram per meter cube. Okay. So this is the amount of PM normal condition, in normal condition. This is the condition after the stubble burning. And what is the recommended level, or what is the standard, the health standard or ideal standard, that it should be 60 microgram per meter cube. It should not be exceeding 60 microgram per meter cube. So this is the standard, and in the case of stubble burning, we see that it reaches up to 300 microgram per meter cube. So this is one example of how much pollutants enter into the atmosphere because of stubble burning. Why do farmers continue with stubble burning? We have seen this one factor. Now the question is, how does it impact our health? It can cause circulatory diseases, it can cause cancer, it can cause respiratory problems, it can cause digestive disorder, it can even cause irritation in the eyes. Okay. So eye problem, respiratory problem, allergic problems, cancer, heart problems, all these things are associated with this particulate matter 2.5. All these things can be possible. Okay. Now the thing is like, so what can be the solution in this case? What can be the solution? If a student is in 6th semester, see, right now you are not having this UPSC exam as of now, and there is one simple concept of UPSC. If you want to appear in the exam, in prelims, you can appear if you are also there in the last year. If you are also there in the last year of your exam, then also you can appear. But before the mains, you have to submit the mark sheet. Before the mains, you have to submit the mark sheet. If you are getting the mark sheet before the mains exam, then you can apply for it. Otherwise, not. So what may be the solution? What may be the solution? Penalties. 2G ethanol. Okay. So let's talk about solution. Let's talk about the solution. What is the number one solution which we see in this case? One of the major solution which has been suggested here in this case is that we can go for crop diversification. We can go for crop diversification. Crop diversification. that why we are continuously having paddy and wheat. We can go for those crops which are more better alternatives rather than just going for paddy after paddy after paddy. It has so many disadvantages. It is water intensive, it is causing pollution, it is causing methane emission. So instead of going for paddy cultivation, farmers may shift toward other methods. They can go for crop diversification. That can be one of the option. Second thing is crop of short tenure. Shorter tenure means those crops which are having shorter tenure, the HYV seeds which are having shorter tenure, they can be encouraged so that farmers may have more time to clear their fields. They are not having shortage of time. Okay. Then we see, yes, mechanized control of stubble. Like we have the option of happy seeder machines. Happy seeded. Then we have also seen pusa decomposer. Pusa decomposer. Then we can see that we can make a supply chain. We can make a supply chain for ethanol. Supply chain for ethanol. We can have ethanol plants in the area which can ensure that there is a proper supply chain of the ethanol. Okay. Then at the same time, we can have a carrot and stick policy. Carrot and stick policy. Okay. We can have at least, if not the carrot policy, if not the stick policy, we can at least have some incentives. We can at least have some incentives that if the farmers are not going for stubble burning, we can incentivize them. If we are not ready to penalize the farmers, we can at least incentivize some of them. So that is also one option. There can be incentives which can be provided to some of the farmers. So this is also one of the option. This is also one of the options, like we can do these portions. Okay. Okay. So government will purchase everything. It's not possible from the government side to purchase each and everything. It will not be technically feasible. It cannot be one of the solution. It's not possible. So yes, we can diversify it for various things. We can divert it towards other things. So that is some of the approach which can be taken here. Okay. And see, we have so many alternatives and it has been there for a long period of time and still nothing has been done. So it means the challenge here is in implementation of these things. There are so many ideas, there are so many initiatives which has been already there. Pusa decomposer has been there, happy seeder has been there, short duration crops has also been there. But despite all these things, we see that the problem of stubble burning is far from over. Every year there is a ban of stubble burning, there is a ban on firecrackers, there is ban on many things. But the problem of stubble burning is not improving, especially in northwestern part of India. Okay. So this is one thing which we see in case of North India. Stubble burning, Supreme Court, government and farmers. Now we have another very important topic. The borrowing limit of the states. The borrowing limit of the state. Now here, what is the context? Context is this, that there is a state of Kerala. They have a demand. They have a demand from 16th Finance Commission. They have a demand from the 16th Finance Commission. What is the demand? The demand is extra limit for borrowing, extra limits of borrowing. And why they want this? Why do they want this? They are saying two reasons: loss due to losses due to GST reforms. That now we see that GST rate has been cut down. GST rates have been cut down. So there is going to be a loss to the state exchequer, to the state revenue. Second part is, it is saying the impact of US tariff. Impact of US tariff. So on the basis of these two things, these two things, okay, they are saying that they want to have extra borrowing limit of 0.5% of gross state domestic product. Okay. Gross state domestic product. So now, what are the provisions with respect to this? What are the existing mechanism from this? So let us try to understand it. Let us try to understand this part. What is the existing mechanism? What is the existing mechanism? What is the existing mechanism? So see here, when we talk about the existing mechanism, we have Article 293 of the Constitution. Article 293. Under this Article 293, under subclause 1, state has the power that a state can borrow within India. Okay. They can borrow within India, okay, and like how much, or like on what basis, what will be the mortgage? Okay. They can borrow within India. They can borrow within India, and here we see that there is one part on basis of consolidated fund of the state. Okay. On basis of consolidated fund of a state. Now there is another part. There is the subclause 3, which is saying that a limit will be there. A limit on state borrowing. There is a limit on the state borrowing. There is a limit on the state borrowing, that if it is having a loan, outstanding loan to the government of India, means if it has taken loan from government of India, then it will have to take permission before getting any such loan. Okay. So here we see that there is another part, okay, that if they have loan with government of India, then must take consent from government of India for getting loan, for availing loan. Suppose that they have got a loan already with the government of India, and now they want to borrow some other loans from, let us say, ICICI Bank. They want to take another loan from ICICI Bank for maybe some state government project. Okay. So now what we see that they will have to like first take the permission from the government of India. Okay. So this is also one part that they will have to depend on this. Now there is this FRBM Act also, Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act. FRBM Act also. So all the states, they have to also pass a FRBM law. They have to also get this FRBM law. And here what we see that, like under this fiscal responsibility and budget management, they have to maintain fiscal discipline. they have to maintain fiscal discipline. So how this limit is going to be set? How this limit is going to be decided? Like, who will be setting this limit? Who will set the limit here? Who will set the limit? Who will set the limit? It is to be done by legislature. It is to be done by the legislature. This is to be done by legislature. Legislature will fix the limit. But that is one side of a story. This limit is on the basis of recommendation of the Finance Commission. Okay. It is on the basis of recommendation of Finance Commission. So it is on basis of recommendation. It is on basis of recommendation. And recommendation is of Finance Commission. That the Finance Commission is giving this recommendation that how much limit you can set. How much limit you can set. So in the case of 14th Finance Commission, here what we see that the 14th Finance Commission, it has allowed the states that you can borrow up to 3% of GSDP. Okay. So 3% of GSDP plus 0.5%. But this 0.5% is on the basis of debt to GDP ratio and interest payment. On basis of debt to GDP ratio. So it is to be based on their debt to GDP ratio. That if their debt to GDP ratio is within the ambit as suggested by Finance Commission, if their debt to GDP ratio is within the ambit decided by the Finance Commission, then in that scenario they can borrow additional 0.5. Now in the case of 15th Finance Commission, now in case of 15th Finance Commission, the same thing was there. 15th Finance Commission, here also we see 3% of GSDP. Now it has provided 0.5% additional. This is additional, but the ground had changed here. What was the ground? What was the ground here? In this case, the ground was power sector reform, capital expenditure, fiscal transparency. Okay. So it was on basis of power sector reform, on basis of capital expenditure, on basis of fiscal transparency. So on this basis, the 15th Finance Commission has allowed this. During the time of COVID, it was increased up to 5%. Means additional 2%. Additional up to 2% was allowed, which was again on the basis of conditions. So up to 2% was allowed on basis of several conditions during the time of COVID. So this is the existing provision as of now. Now Kerala is asking the Finance Commission. Kerala is asking the Finance Commission that we are having this one geopolitical issue, the US tariff, and we are also having this GST losses. So on the basis of this, you can provide us the opportunity. You can provide us the opportunity for 0.5% additional borrowing. Okay. So this is the demand from Kerala. Okay. So what do you think? Should it be allowed or not? if we are talking about the demand of the states that they have to be given extra borrowing limits, should it be allowed or not? And this is going to be for all the states. This one recommendation will not be for just one state. It is going to be for all the states. Kerala has demanded it, but once Finance Commission provides this, it will be extended to all the states. Now, read a little bit about it. Like tomorrow we will discuss about this once again. Tomorrow I will be asking you this question once again. So try to read about this. Try to read about this, that why do the states actually need the extra borrowing limit? Why do they allow, or why do they need extra borrowing limit? Why the state needs fund more than the union? Try to read about this one portion, and tomorrow I will ask you question again. So read about this, you will get something interesting there. You will understand many interesting things there. Why do states need more fund? So try to see, try to search like this. And what are the existing challenges also? Try to search that part also. So search this part, that why they should be allowed or why they should not be allowed. Tomorrow I will ask you again. Okay. Now, we are coming to the third part, the changing geopolitics again. Okay. So this is just one part. There is no agreement which has been signed. Okay. But there is one agenda. Okay. A new strategic European Union India agenda. This is something, it has been released. It has been released by European Commission. It has been released by the European Commission. It is saying new strategic European Union India agenda. So what they have expressed their interest for, what they are trying to do. They are saying that we are trying to have 5 pillars. 5 pillars. One of them is trade. One of them is technology. Then we are also going to have it in defense, security, and climate change. So they have said that they are trying to have at least 5 different pillars. We are trying to have at least 5 different pillars on which we are going to have relations with India. Trade, technology, then it is also going to be about defense, security, and climate change. Now, as we talk about the present times, now there is one more thing. They have said that India is a crucial partner. India is a crucial partner. India is a crucial partner. So right now when we talk about Europe and India, if we are talk about Europe, European Union and India, we are seeing that it is the largest trade partner of India. Largest trade partner. We see that it is the largest trade partner of India. We have a trade of near about $137.5 billion. We are having a trade of about $137.5 billion. It is either US or European Union which remains as the India's top export destination. Okay. It is among top export destination of India. Among this top export destination, sometimes it is US, sometimes it is European Union. Okay, so it varies year by year, but it remains in the top. In the last 10 years, if we look at this, trade grown by 90%. Trade has grown by 90% in 10 years. So trade has grown almost 90% in the 10 years. So we also see that there has been cooperation on technology front also. There is a joint investment of 60 million euros for electronic batteries and all. Okay. So there is also a project worth 60 million euros for recycling of EVs. This is a joint project. This is a joint project of India and European Union. Okay. We are also having a Trade and Technology Council. We have a specific body, Trade and Technology Council. We have a specific body here, Trade and this Technology Council. It was launched in 2022. It was launched in 2022. You can see that we have a recent collaboration in the form of Proba 3 mission. Proba 3 mission. European Space Agency plus ISRO. We are also planning for many such things in the future. Okay. So we are having some units of cooperation, some types of cooperation between European Union and India. There is one thing which is pending. Overall, there is one thing which is pending, and that is what we call as free trade agreement. This is something which is pending. Free trade agreement. It is being said that it may be finalized. By 2025 end. That maybe by the end of this 2025, we will have finalization of this trade, like a trade deal. Did they do any deal related to moderation of carbon border adjustment mechanism? No. Right now the trade negotiations are going on. Right now we see that trade negotiations are going on. So that is one of the part, like this carbon border adjustment mechanism is going to be part of that also. So this is one thing that we are doing with respect to this European Union. European Union has opened up its part that it is interested to deal with India in all these things. You can see there is one thing which has been excluded, and that part is services. Like they are ready to talk about everything, but they have no such focus specific on services. They are generally talking about trade in goods and all, but when it comes to services, suddenly they become silent. They want to have agriculture related discussion, they want to have patent related discussion, but when it comes to services, all of a sudden they become quite silent. So that is one thing with respect to India-Europe relations. So they have said that they don't want to have a void, they want to create a vacuum where someone else can become India's partner. They have said this, that they don't want someone else to become India's partner. They want to become India's friend. So you can see what is the impact of SCO meeting. You can see that is the impact of SCO meeting. And suppose if BRICS meeting was also there just after the SCO meeting again, so then there would have been more such impact across the world. So let's come to this part. Like why this news is there? why this news is there, there is one thing called as NDC. Can you tell me what is this NDC? What is this nationally determined contribution? What is this nationally determined contribution? Of course, BRICS meeting is also going to be there. So it should have been organized just after the SCO meet, so that there can be more and more pressure. So what do you know about the NDC, nationally determined contribution? Action plans. Okay, so these are basically climate action plans of all countries. Climate action plan of countries. So what we see that, like, this was something which was decided at Paris Treaty. It was decided at Paris Treaty. Then we see that it has been revised in 2021 Glasgow Summit. It was delayed. Okay. This was something which was delayed due to COVID. Now, the next revision is supposed to take place it is supposed to be there in 2025. Okay. But we see that as we look at this, US, European Union, India, China have not announced it yet. Okay. So no major countries have announced the NDC as of now. Okay. The countries are supposed to update this NDC by 2025, but it has not been updated as of now. If we talk about India's last NDC, if you look at India's last NDC, it was this one. It was updated in 2021 in Glasgow Summit. It was updated in Glasgow Summit. It is about having 500 gigawatt non-fossil energy capacity by 2030. It is about 50% energy from renewable by 2030. Reduce carbon emission by 1 billion ton by 2030. Reduce carbon intensity of the economy by over 45% by 2030, and net zero by 2070. So they have also been called as Panch Amrit. They have also been called as Panch Amrit. Okay. So this is the target. It was updated by India. It was updated by India in 2021. Right now, as per the Indian government, the work is undergoing about this updation. So India has not declared it yet, but India says that the work is still under progress and we will do it. Okay. So these are the topics which we have discussed for today. I have already given you two tasks. One is writing the answer for that monsoon question again. Second task is this, about that one topic, that should the states be allowed to borrow more or not. Okay. So try to read about both these topics. In tomorrow's session, we will discuss about both of them, about the monsoon question also and this state borrowing limit also. So this is the NDC of India as of now. It is supposed to be updated, but it has not been updated as of now. Okay. So you can continue with the editorial reading. Okay. You can continue with the editorial reading. Are all important for us? Means which one part? No, schemes are not that much relevant now. Like there was a time when new schemes were launched, they become relevant. But just because a scheme is there in the news, we don't have to see that. Okay. If there is any prominent scheme, we will look at. But general schemes which are being launched right now, you can see many schemes are coming up because of elections. Okay. So let it settle down first and then we will see these portions. So thank you everyone. Take care and all the best. Thank you.